Carl, Mark, you look at this problem. You at first diagnosed the issue as there being a problem with the underlying mesh. You're prepared to repair that. How long after that did you go back to Ian's property?
A week. A week later, I went round there to do it.
Kept a record?
No.
What were you going to do? Did you show up as well?
I was going to cut that bit of mesh out and refill it with concrete.
When were you first notified that the concrete was now pulling water and the level?
I was never notified of that.
The first time you've heard it?
Yeah.
Well, that's very important. Now that you've seen that and there's evidence of it and you've got photographs, what do you say about that?
He drives his big motorhomes on that.
So your reaction to that is not that it's been poorly laid or that that's your responsibility, it's his fault because of the talking. It's the weight of his vehicle. Is that right?
Correct.
Just putting that down in big. How long did the water start pooling?
This started about 6 months after.
If the concrete had been properly laid, you wouldn't expect pooling after 6 months, would you, if the ground had been flat, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I'm not a professional concrete layer, and neither, frankly, is Ian. So in order to come to a determination, there is an independent expert who's been appointed. Now, just for the avoidance of any doubt, you've supplied photographs on both sides. You've explained your side of the case to this independent expert, who I'm now going to call. Now, you're Adrian, correct?
Correct, yes.
And as I understand it, you're a concrete and paveway specialist.
Yes, I am.
And you're, as far as I can gather, accepted to be very highly regarded in your field. How long would you expect, with reasonable use, once a concrete driveway to have been laid, how long would you expect it to be in good condition, without cracking, without pooling of water?
Oh, minimum at least 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. Thank you very much. You've had an opportunity to look at all of these photographs. Yes, now, just to be clear, you haven't visited the site.
No.
Having had a look at them, are you satisfied that you can come to an independent determination of the quality of the work?
Yes.
What's the problem with that?
The problem, it looks like to me that the chaps drove over it with his car and the block paving has sank, which would be indicating that the base isn't strong enough.
Right, can we see the next photograph, please? Now, there's a crack there, and was this the crack that you first noticed? No, this is a new crack. It's a recent crack. Yeah. Now, this crack emerged how long after the drive was laid?
That was more recent, in the last...
Let's call it 4 years.
Months.
Let's call it 4 years after the drive had been finished.
Yeah, OK.
4 years later, that happens. Would you expect that crack to appear after only 4 years?
No.
What's your diagnosis of why that may have happened?
The base mustn't be strong enough.
Next picture. Now, this, in fairness to Carl and Mark, they've acknowledged, which is that after the concrete was laid, this underlay, the metal bit, which is the foundation, if you like, of where the concrete is poured, emerged from the concrete. Would you expect that to happen?
Definitely not.
Can you repair a patch, or would you, once you'd seen that, ask for the whole thing to be redone?
Yes, I would.
You'd ask for the whole thing to be redone?
No, the section to be cut out.
You'd could section it, which is what they say. Yeah. How much would that cost?
A few £100.
Thank you. What about the levelling? Having had a look at it, what's your diagnosis? Would you have to rip the whole thing up?
Yes, it should be reinstalled.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
OK.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.